A bill to grant the status of legal personhood to non-human beings. Preamble. Whereas current law classifies sentient living non-human beings as property, although they deserve the status of legal personhood. Whereas a central nervous system enables sentience. Sentience refers to the capacity to experience feelings and sensations, encompassing the ability to perceive in a conscious way. It's often associated with the capacity for positive and negative experiences like pleasure, pain, and hunger, and is considered a fundamental aspect of consciousness. Sentience is distinct from higher cognitive functions like reasoning or self awareness. All living beings who possess central nervous systems are persons. All living non human beings possess central nervous systems. Thus, all living non human beings are persons. Sentience is a sufficient requirement for personhood when referring to living beings, as opposed to the status of artificial personhood carved out for entities, governments, and others, or plants that respond to external stimuli but do not possess central nervous systems. Sentience is the necessary and sufficient condition to grant living beings membership in the moral community. All living non human beings possess the ability to feel pleasure, joy, happiness, pain, loneliness, depression, and hunger. Cognitive ability, such as the ability to reason, is not the sufficient requirement for personhood when referring to living beings because if this proved true, then cognitively challenged human beings or human beings on life support would not qualify for personhood, which is ridiculous. Whereas the United States incorrectly classified human beings with dark skin as property until the United States officially recognized them as persons following the ratification of the 14th Amendment in 1868. According to forensic biology, no race gene exists. Nevertheless, human beings introduced the word race into the English language in the 16th century. Eventually, the United States government created 5 races based on a person's skin color, although the terms species and national origin described human beings more accurately. Species must represent a protected class, like race, color, national origin, age, and other inherent characteristics. Since 1876, the concept of protected classes in the United States has undergone significant evolution, expanded far beyond the initial focus of human equality following the Civil War. Species must represent a protected class in order for sentient, living, non human beings to possess the status of legal personhood. Whereas animal welfare laws concern treatment of non human beings and do not protect them from exploitation by human beings, they are considered because they are considered things. In stark contrast, animal rights, which concerns the use of non-human beings, advocates legal standing to enable them to enforce their rights in courts, like incompetent human beings, minors, and incapacitated adults who are represented by guardians. Discrimination based on species, like discrimination based on race, color, national origin, age, and others, must be considered illegal. Whereas the worst crimes against non human beings, that is, abuse, torture, murder, are committed under the auspices of the law and occur in factory farming and agriculture, research and experimentation, in circuses and zoos. The Animal Welfare Act, AWA, condones treatment of animals that would be considered criminal if individuals committed the same acts. Some species of animals, that is human, are considered persons, while other species of animals, that is non human, are considered property, which represents discrimination based on the fact that both types of animals possess central nervous systems. Whereas legal recognition of non human sentience, such as a symbolic declaration, does not serve as an effective solution. Several countries and Oregon in the United States have passed laws recognizing non human sentience. However, the actual impact of such legislation turns on the enforcement of criminal penalties and prohibition of current acts under the auspices of the law, that is, factory farming and agriculture, research and experimentation, and circuses and zoos. The Animal Welfare Act, AWA, of 1966 regulates the treatment of animals in research, teaching, testing, exhibition, transport, and by dealers. AWA's greatest achievement remains the perpetuation of abuse, torture, and murder of non human beings under the auspices of the law and authorizes acts that would be considered criminal if committed by individuals. Whereas sentient, living, non human beings deserve legal protection with respect to their rights to their lives and to their freedom. Whereas the time is ripe to add species to the continually expanding list of protected classes, whereas to enforce the constitutional rights of life and liberty, to confer jurisdiction upon the district courts of the United States, to provide injunctive relief against discrimination, to authorize the Attorney General to institute suits to protect constitutional rights, and to extend the Commission on Civil Rights, and to establish a Commission on Non-Human Rights, and for other purposes.